The book of Exodus chapter 9.
Yahweh then said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, Yahweh, God of the Hebrews, says this, let my people go and worship me. If you refuse to let them go and detain them any longer, look, the hand of Yahweh will strike your livestock in the field, horses, donkeys, camels, oxen, and flocks with a deadly plague. Yahweh will discriminate between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt. Nothing of what belongs to the Israelites will die. Yahweh has fixed the time. Tomorrow, he has said, Yahweh will do this in the country." Next day, Yahweh did this. All the Egyptians' livestock died, but nothing of the livestock owned by the Israelites died. Pharaoh had inquiries made and found that of the livestock owned by the Israelites, not a single beast had died, but Pharaoh was obstinate and did not let the people go. Yahweh then said to Moses and Aaron, "Take handfuls of soot from the clean, and before Pharaoh's eyes, let Moses throw it in the air. It will turn into fine dust over the whole of Egypt and produce boils, breaking into sores on man and beast throughout the whole of Egypt." So they took soot from the clean and stood in front of Pharaoh, and Moses threw it in the air, and on man and beast it brought out boils, breaking into sores. And the magician could not compete with Moses in the matter of the boils, for the magicians were covered with boils like all the other Egyptians. But Yahweh made Pharaoh stubborn, and as Yahweh had foretold to Moses, he did not listen to them. Yahweh then said to Moses, "Get up early in the morning and confront Pharaoh. Say to him, Yahweh, God of the Hebrews, says this, let my people go and worship me. For this time, I am going to inflict all my plagues on you, on your officials, and on your subjects, so that you will know that there is no one like me in the whole world. Had I stretched out my hands to strike you and your subjects with pestilence, you would have been swept from the earth. But I have let you survive for this reason, to display my power to you and to have my name talked throughout the world. Since you take a high hand with my people, refusing to let them go, very well, at about this time tomorrow, I shall cause so severe a hail to fall as was never known in Egypt from the day of its foundation till now. So now send word to your livestock and everything else you own in the fields, put under cover. On man or beast, all that happens to be in the field and are not brought indoors, the hail will fall and they will die." Those of Pharaoh's officials who respected that Yahweh said brought their livestock and slaves indoors. But those who did not take to heart what Yahweh said left their slaves and livestock in the field. Yahweh then said to Moses, "Stretch out your hands towards heaven, so that it hail throughout the whole of Egypt, on man and beast, and on everything growing anywhere in Egypt." Moses stretched out his staff towards heaven, and Yahweh thundered and rained down hail. Lightning struck the earth, and Yahweh rained down hail on Egypt. And so there was hail, and lightning accompanying the hail. Very severe, such had never been known anywhere in Egypt since it first became a nation. All over Egypt, the hail struck down everything in the field, man and beast, and the hail beat down everything growing in the field and shattered all the trees in the field. The only place where there was no hail was in the Goshen region, where the Israelites live. Pharaoh then sent for Moses and Aaron and said, "This time I have sinned. Yahweh is in the right. I and my subjects are in the wrong. Pray to Yahweh, for we cannot bear any more of this thunder and hail. I promise to let you go. You need stay no longer." Moses said to him, "The moment I leave the city, I shall stretch out my hands to Yahweh. The thunder will stop, and there will be no more hail. so that you may know that the earth belongs to Yahweh. But as for you and your officials, I know very well that you still have no respect for Yahweh God. The flax and the barley were ruined, since the barley was in the ear and the flax in the bud. But the wheat and spelt were not destroyed, being late crops. Moses left Pharaoh and went out of the city. He stretched out his hand to Yahweh, and the thunder and hail ceased, and the rain stopped pouring down on the earth. When Pharaoh saw that rain and hail and thunder had stopped, he relapsed into sin, and he and his officials became obstinate again. Pharaoh was stubborn, and as Yahweh had foretold through Moses, refused to let the Israelites go.
The stubbornness of Pharaoh and his officials led to the many plagues which the Egyptians suffered on account of the Israelites, because the Lord was fighting for them, a sign to show that God is always with those who love Him, no matter how things may appear. By this, therefore, we pray you, O Lord, to be with us and fight our battles against the enemies of our souls, so that by this we may be free of every oppression of the evil one, through Christ our Lord. Amen.